Alright, hey there Harley DIYers. This is a video brought to you by chain deflection. Chain deflection, the thing that will destroy your transmission. So here we go. What we're going to do is we have our Harley owner's manual out, as every Harley forum owner knows. If you ask a stupid question on the Harley forums, they tell you to buy a manual because everyone's a bunch of unhelpful ingrates. So what we're going to do is this video is actually going to help you change your, or adjust rather, your primary chain in your transmission. So what you want to do is, you can probably see by these instructions, and this is the page in case no one has it, you can screen capture off the video. What you want to do here is, this is a cold adjustment video. So what you're going to do is, you see right here, the cold is between 3/8 and ½ an inch of chain deflection. Well, what the crap does that mean? What's 3/8 to ½ an inch? What we're going to do is actually right here, you can see I've already modeled it up on a tape measurer. The bottom end of this right here is where that ½ an inch would start, and then the top end would be right where you want that. That's your happy zone. Where that top end of that deflection is, you want that anywhere in between where that thick permanent marker line is. That's your 3/8 to ½ an inch. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take that out of a book and we're gonna try that right on the transmission right here. So what you can see is actually, and here are the tools you need. You need a manual, that always helps. You need a tape measure. You don't need, or a ruler of some sort. You need a screwdriver. I have a fancy little snap-on one here. You need a 1/4 inch Allen key. You need a 7/8 inch open-ended box wrench. You know, go America, nothing's a metric. And you need one of these just in case you want to make a YouTube video and put that on a jack to hold your iPhone. So I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna put that right here. And then I'm gonna lodge my iPhone right in the center. And look, amazing tripod of science. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, we want to start off with how much deflection the chain has currently. So we're going to start off with is, you want to make sure whatever you put in your transmission is clean of junk. It doesn't have any stuff on it. So there you go. Let's get rid of that first. Okay. And shop towels. Never have enough shop towels. All right. So right here, what we're going to do is, you can see we're going to check what the bottom end of the deflection is. Harley calls this Freeplay. I don't know. It's way too not fancy for me. So I'm going to call it deflection. What we see here is the amount of deflection on this chain that you can see is all the way down here. If you let this thing go up and down, it goes all the way down when you press it. So I'm going to start the bottom end of the mark right here, as you can see, and then it's going to rebound up. It rebounds up almost a full, about 1/8 of an inch, which is really crazy. So what you're going to see is, as you go up, you want, again, sorry, I'm trying to make this in the perspective of the camera. Let me adjust my AFE lock because this lighting is going crazy. It's driving me nuts. Perfect. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is, on the bottom right here, see the deflection. The bottom end of it is right where the bottom end of the mark is on the tape measure. As I let that go up, again, about an 1/8 of an inch that goes up. We're going to move this all the way up to see where it stops. It should stop right here or right here, but it keeps going. It goes up into the top of the primary case cover. So you don't want that. If it stops right here, let's use an example. Let's say it stops right here, too tight. You want to loosen that sucker, otherwise it's going to destroy the gears in your transmission. You don't want that. It's a very expensive fix. So again, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop in the happy zone. It's going to go way up top, so we need to change that. So what we're going to do is come down here, and I'm now at the bottom of the bike. I'm going to show you where I am. I need to change the lighting too. So I'm actually going to show you is this nut right here. Sorry for the Blair Witch style adjustment, but there you go. That nut right there. Okay. I actually can't see the on the camera, but I'm going to trust it's there. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take the 7/8 wrench. I'm going to put that around here. Again, your normal lefty-loosey, righty-tighty rules apply. I'm going to take this to put it in there to stabilize the adjustment screw. This is, here, let's specify this. Adjustment screw, lock nut, adjustment screw, lock nut. Put the 1/4 inch in the lock nut and then the adjustment screw, just to make sure. And then you're going to lefty-loosey the sucker, open. Just about 1/4 of a turn is all it really needs. Now you're free to actually adjust the primary chain adjustment. So what you want to do is, you want to, the manual says clockwise to make it tighter. I'm looking at it right now, but someone on Venus must have wrote this because it's completely in retrograde. So what you want to do is you actually want to turn counterclockwise to reduce the free play, not increase it, but actually reduce it. So I'm going to turn this counterclockwise. That's about 1/8 of a turn. I'm going to do this again. That's another about 1/4 of a turn, so I almost have 3/8 of a turn right there. And what you want to do is you want to check the free play up top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up top here with the jack stand iPhone mount of science. Here we go. Okay, perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my light back up there. Perfect. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to check it up top again. So I'm doing the same tape measure trick. I really like marking this thing because then you know you can't screw up. You know that your bottom is there and you know your happy zone is right there. So what I'm doing is I have the bottom end is right there again, and the top end is now a little bit higher. So I'm gonna go back down one more time. I'm not gonna bring it with me though. I'm just gonna do it manually myself. I'm gonna hold the bottom end, and actually you'll be able to see how this changes when I turn it counterclockwise, how tight the bottom gets. Watch how the gap is taken up on the bottom side of the primary chain. You can see how it actually rises up a little bit. That should be just enough of adjustment. So let's check this sucker one more time. And then let's push down. We get a little bit of deflection on the bottom side. It rebounds barely up 1/16 of an inch. Then we take this and we push it up, and it looks like it's right in the happy zone there. Man, that could not be nicer. It stops right dead center in the happy zone. So it's perfect. It's between 3/8 and 1/2 inch. Again, we're doing this with a cold bike. That way you don't burn yourself in anything. So what needs to happen now is you need to put the primary chain inspection port back on, or cover back on. Same thing with the transmission cover. You put that back on. What I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to show you how to make sure that you don't screw up your adjustment on putting the primary chain back together. So you can clearly see what you're going to do is you need to put the 1/4 inch Allen back in here, and then you need to make sure this stays exactly. You can see it's facing toward the camera right now. I'm going to do righty tighty lefty loosey, turn this thing to the right, making sure that it stays exactly the same where the Allen key is. That makes sure that the valve lash stays exactly where I want it to be. So I'm doing the same lefty loosey righty tighty trick, but then what I'm doing is it actually needs 25 foot-pounds, which is barely a little bit past tight. I'm not going to put a torque wrench on that thing because who's got time for that? But that's it. That's what you're going to do. And then you can put the covers back on, and then your bike is ready to go. That is the recommended check for 10,000 miles. You should do that. Actually, even in between, if your bike ever starts getting a little sloppy. So there you go. That's tonight's video brought to you by Primary Chain Deflection. Happy riding. Be safe.